Okay, 11 says, which expression is the same value as this? If I look at it, I have two polynomials with a subtraction sign in the middle. That is telling me I'm doing polynomial subtraction. So I can carry down the first polynomial. And I'm going to distribute this negative sign times everything on this side. So I'll distribute it times the positive 5 and get a negative 5x squared. Distribute it times the negative 3, changing that to a positive 3x. And distribute it times the positive 2, making it a negative 2. Now all I have to do is go through and combine my like terms. So I've got x squared and x squared, x and x, constant and constant. 8x squared minus 5x squared is going to be 3x squared. Positive 2x, positive 3x, negative 6, negative 2, add. And there's my answer. Come over here. That is B. Number 12, it says this equation can be used to find H, the number of hours it'll take Flo and Brian to mow their lawn. So if you notice, these are both over a, these are both in a fraction. This is how long it take one of them, this is how long it takes the other, and then they get the whole lawn done. So, to get rid of this fraction, I'm going to multiply by the LCM of the two numbers, which is the least common multiple, so the smallest thing that, that both of these go into. And 3 goes into 6, so that's actually just going to be 6. So I'm going to multiply the whole thing by 6, both sides of the equation. So I'm going to get 6h over 3, and remember this only multiplies by the top, plus 6h over 6 equals 6. Now I'm going to go through and divide that. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 6 divided by 6 is 1. Combine like terms. Okay, combine those. Simplify. And we get 2 hours, which is C. 3 is talking about a ferry boat, and it tells me all this information. And then down here they're going to give me an equation. It says, what is M, the distance between the two communities? So when I read down here, I see that it's asking me for M. Now up here they're telling me where the rest of this stuff came from, which is important. But since I see this, I'm going to go ahead and start solving. They tell me why this one's subtracting, why this one's adding, all of that. Let's go ahead and start simplifying and solving. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 15 minus 5. And say that that is M over 10. And do 15 plus 5 and say this is M over 20. Wrote my 0 on the wrong side of my decimal. And I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did in the last one. I'm going to multiply the whole thing by the LCM to get rid of the fractions. So 10 goes into 20, so that's going to be what I'm going to multiply by. And I'm just going to distribute this, so 20m over 10. Remember when I multiply by a constant, it only gets multiplied by the numerator. And then a constant times a constant gets multiplied. So this is a half. Half of 20 is 10. I'm going to go ahead and divide these. 20 divided by 10 is 2. 20 divided by 20 is 1. Oh, wrote the wrong sign here. There's a plus sign there, so I should have one there. Plus 10 minus m on both sides to get 10 by itself. M is equal to 10, which is C. So they went 10 miles. So 10 miles between the communities. 14. What values of x is the inequality going to be true? So we need to solve this inequality, right? It's an inequality because it does not have an equal sign. But we're doing the exact same thing. Remember, if I multiply by a negative, my sign changes, but I'm not multiplying by a negative here because these are positive 3's. So let's multiply by a 3 to get rid of everything. So let's rewrite that. 2 over 3 plus x over 3 is greater than 1. multiply the whole thing by 3. 6 over 3 plus 3x over 3 is greater than 3. Remember, this is a positive 3, so I don't switch my sign. Simplify. 2 plus x is greater than 3. I'm going to subtract 2. X has to be greater than 1. Come back to my multiple choice, and that is B. Looking at number 15. Look at the steps when solving 3 times x minus 2 equals 3 for x. So we're just looking to see where they combine like terms. So right here it says they wrote the equation, then they use the distributive property, yeah. And then it looks like we added 6 to both sides. Generally we would write it underneath, but that is okay that they wrote it in there. That was just the step. And then from step 1 to step 2, they combine the like terms. So that's going to be my answer. From step 2 to step 3, they're dividing. Step 4, they simplified. Number 16, 2 lines are graphed on the coordinate plane, which appears to be where they where both lines. That just means where do they intersect. So we're looking at this point, which is going to be 3, 1, and that's D. So all we have to do is look for the point of intersection and then count. 17, based on the table, what point do the lines intersect? So this line and this line intersect. That just means where do they have the same points again, just like this one, except now we got a table. So I'm looking for where my x and y are the same on both. So -1, 6, -1, -3, not the same thing. I'm going to go all the way down. This is 2, 3. This is 2, 3. So that's going to make this the answer to number 17, since we're looking for where both x and y are the same. So all I got to do is come over here and find 2, 3, which is C. For number 18, they say which ordered pair is the solution. So all we're going to have to do is plug each one of these in and find out if it works. It's going to be the easiest way to do it. So 3 times 2 plus 2 equals 2 times -5 minus 5. That's A. This one should be pretty easy to see that it doesn't work. That's going to be 8 equals -15. So I can cross that one out. Let's plug the next one in. 3 times -5 plus 2 equals 2 times 0 minus 5. -15 plus 2 is equal to -5. That obviously is not true. Okay, we can try the other two. And once again, you could just plug these in the calculator and do it that way. So 3 times 1 plus 2. I'm plugging the y's in first because that's a y, right? Is equal to 2 times 5 plus or minus 5. 3 plus 2 is equal to 10 minus 5. I think we got it. 5 equals 5. Cool. It's C. 19, a manager is comparing costs of 2 different companies. So we got to write our equation. Company X charges a $50 flat rate plus 7 per cap. Company Y charges 30 plus 9 per cap. For what number of baseball caps will the cost be the same? So I just need to know where these are equal. So since they said where will they be the same, I said, okay, where are they going to be equal? So we're looking for this x value. So minus 7x to get x alone. Minus 30, so the x's are all that's on this side. Get x all by itself. Answer is A. And last one for this video. A shop sells 1 pound of peanuts for $2 and a 3-pound bag for $5. If 9 bags are purchased for a total cost of $36, how many 3-pound bags were purchased? So we know that we have 2 times x plus 3 or 5, the cost, right? 2 times x plus 5 times y, where x is going to be the single pound bags, y is going to be the 3-pound. This is the cost, so I'm going to put the cost on this side of the equal sign. And I'm also looking at the number of bags, so we've got the single plus the 3-pound, and there are 9 bags sold. So I'm going to use an elimination method. I'm going to multiply this by -2. This will be -2x minus 2y minus 18, or equals -18. And I'm going to add these two together, so I'm going to rewrite this underneath it. And add straight down. That's 3y equals 18. So we divide both sides by 3. We get y equals 6. And let's make sure that we found what we were looking for. It says, how are the 3-pound bags? And are the 3-pound bags what we called y? Yes. So that is my answer.